This is a story of me 2 years ago when I had made $45,000 in a single day, and then I lost most of it. The year is 2021. I had just got fired from my job and I was YouTubing and scrolling on Reddit all day on how I could be able to never have to work again, since this was my second time to get fired in 4 months. I wasn't fired for doing anything wrong, but when COVID hit, there just wasn't enough to do at those jobs. At this time, I had managed to save up to $8,000 in total, which was more money than I ever had, but it also was too little to be of use. At most, it would be a good buffer to get wasted on rent. Finally, I came across a video on YouTube talking about the stock called AMC, and the next day another stock very much linked to this stock in the chats called GameStop.
Well, I'm thinking that this GameStop situation is the craziest I think I've ever seen. Usually you have a short squeeze and it goes up, but this one keeps going. So
it went from like $5 to $500 in days. I didn't buy any GameStop stocks, but I started to buy some AMC. After a few days it went down a couple of dollars, from like $6 to $3, and I sold it off. But what I later noticed was that the videos I've been watching started to get many views. My first thought was, this is going to be something big. I had a gut feeling. So I bought in again, and this time I went all in. Months went by, and I followed the forums on Reddit, the videos on YouTube, and of course, the chart. June 2nd was the day. My $8,000 just evolved, and in hours, I had $45,000. I thought this was the start of my wealth. In these forums on Reddit and on YouTube, a cult had begun to be created, and I was a loyal member. And the core message was to hold until the stock reached more than 10k in stock price, and we all would never have to work again. I sold off a bit to invest in 1 or 2 mining rigs, which you can find on my channel. That cost me $8,000, the same amount that previously was more than I ever had. Then I bought some crypto for a part of it, and then I just held the rest. But then the whole market started to bleed. It was red everywhere, and there seemed to be no light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, the market is still bleeding to this day. At the same time, Ethereum had done an update called a fork. This meant that they would go over from proof of work to proof of stake, which meant no more mining. Also, the price of graphic cards started to drop drastically, and there was no way I could make that money back. So I got another job, mostly to satisfy family and everyone around me. The problem was that the job was far away and I had to drive there, and at the same time the price of fuel skyrocketed, and in months I had lost so much money on gas that there was no point in working, at least not on that distance. Since then I managed to save up some more and do some swing trading, and I am now pretty good on my feet. But never again will I hold a stock and wish for it to go higher when it's starting to drop from the highest peak it has ever been. I will set the bar low and actually get out in time. It's like a medieval battle, when if you could not manage to inspire people to fight, then everybody would take the easy path and save themselves out of fear, and one by one will follow the crowd. Victory was gone. Also, I learned that the big finance firms have their claws in the legal system, and they are going to pull every string they can to never make retail do anything remarkable to shake the market and lower their authority and influence on everyday people. Right before the so-called squeeze, which is when a stock skyrockets out of market pressure, when big firms has bet against the stock by borrowing shares, but it never goes down to the number they imagined, and so they have to cover their positions and buy them back within a limited time to return them to the lender. If they don't buy the shares back, they will be margin called, which is when they are forced to buy the stock at the given price, and so there isn't really a limit to how high a stock can go. But they got their tricks, like they can call the lender and make them wait longer, because they know the people who work there. So they can wait until retail one by one is struck by fear and sells their shares. I hope this story will be of help to you, to make the right decision for when you one day might strike gold. Please, like and subscribe.